Hello! We are all greeting each other as we all finally assemble in this room on this fine day for the Zweihander finale of The Broken Crown. I do apologize for the titles. Apparently Twitch has decided not to update them. They should be fixed now, so if that bothers you, hit refresh. But we are, of course, playing Zweihander. It is grim, it is perilous, and no more grim and perilous than for me, who can't roll below an 80. But my salt aside, let's go around, let's say hi to the cast, and do a little introduction of who you will be playing with us tonight. And let's begin, as always, with the wonderful Mac.
Oh, hi. I'm Mackenzie Landy on Twitter, and for the last time, maybe because she's gonna die tonight, maybe because it's just a finale, we don't know yet, I will be playing Piker and Falk, our teeny tiny halfling smuggler, who likes blowing stuff up, apparently.
Apparently so. Let's see, that express delivery Molotov is a move that will go down through history. And things that should be well noted in history are, of course, the other wonderful cast members, which includes Jess. How are you doing today, friend?
I'm good. I'm excited to play because I feel like everyone else is due for bad things to happen to them, and maybe Katya just gets to coast this time.
Wow!
I mean, her shit up or down. There's not a lot going on. But I feel like Sister Eden and Cecily have really had it easy lately. So, like, maybe it won't be as hard for Katya today. Maybe I get to chill.
I'm sorry, was that a bus that just ran
Lydia,
over?
Lydia, how are you feeling about
Wow.
the bus that just came on through?
I don't know.
I'm just throwing it out there. Anyway, I'm playing Katya. I've had a lot of bad things happen to her.
What are we gonna do? How is Sister Eden and how is Lydia?
So good, both of us, indeed. I'm really happy that Sister Eden is, just along for the ride, not taking any damage, having a good day.
Unofficial baby duty.
I am the babysitter of the party. That's right.
Very trustworthy. Would never pinch a child to cause it to cry.
I would pinch a child if it was babysit. Hands down, I do it again.
That baby, when it grows up, it's gonna be like, why does this kid does not like half elves? Why?
Someone who is always a delight, of course. Joining us again, Shauna. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Yeah. Do you know what? Cecily is the most. I'm playing Cecily Jade, the Raconteur, and honestly, probably the most irresponsible of the group. So maybe she hasn't had anything bad come. She's probably just, cruel. Just law of nature has not she has nothing bad has happened to her.
I mean,
and it's only been the responsible people.
Maybe, but also the biggest beast in the fight against the cannibals.
She's angry, tired. She's angry, tired, and drunk. That's not a good combination.
Is that tangry? Is that what?
Yeah, I guess so.
And Susie, how are you doing today? You are muted, friend. Oh, again? We had your voice a minute ago. Have a hop around, see if you can get it back. While Susie does that, I will remind everyone that if you hit that retweet button and we get to 20 retweets, we will be giving away some tabletop loot dice live here on the show. So please do hit that button. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. Please consider hitting the like button, the subscribe button, and the little bell. Because, pushing buttons releases serotonin in your brain and will make you happy. That's my entire sales pitch for that. But also, we very much appreciate you. Susie, say something.
Hello.
Yes! How are you?
Yes, I'm here, finally, present, vocal. Oh my god, I'm very excited for this finale and the terrible things that I may or may not do to you tonight. I gather that you were all listening to me while I was in the tunnel and getting very afeared.
I don't know if afeard's the word.
Oh, I mean, I saw the
maybe
messages.
mutinous.
Oh, we're getting a bit spicy. I'm excited. All right, okay. All right, good energy.
But if you would like to support or hinder our mutiny, you watching there at home, watching this grim and perilous adventure, you can interact with the show in a number of ways, including donating using the options down below to give crits fails, twists of fate, and of course, for £100, you assume absolute power. And we're not sure what that does yet. No one has hit that big red button, but when they do, it's going to be big, it's going to be good. On previous seasons, we've done things like had Leroy Jenkins appear, we've had actual cannibals Shia LaBeouf in several campaigns. So yeah, lots and lots of options. And perhaps going into next year with Absolute Power, we will also offer a guest spot. But you know, things to consider. In the meantime, you can also hit the clip button because we love making our best of RPG reels and laughing at ourselves, pulling ridiculous faces, saying absolutely ridiculous things, and having that all preserved on the internet for all of time. So those are a couple of things that, you know, I feel it's only my duty to remind you about. We will also be running polls. At the start of the session, we will be running a poll for corruption, and at the very end of this chapter, we shall run a final poll for redemption. So keep an eye on the morals of this group. See who you would like to push off the deep end, and those who you would like to save from the raging currents of chaos. I'm going to hand you over right now, though, to Past Charlie to tell you all about the sponsors today. Before we begin today's show, I would like to take some time to remind you about our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds, a virtual tabletop of choice. All of the beautiful maps and roles you see tonight are done using Fantasy Grounds, which you can try for free at fantasygrounds.com. You can also get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer and 40k minis for up to 20% off regular retail price. And Tabletop Loot, who sell incredible dice. Go and check them out at tabletoploot.com. And we are back! Hello. This stream is also, of course, sponsored by Zweihander themselves, Grim and Perilous Publishing. We adore this system so much. We've been having a lot of fun at testing it out in this first chapter of The Broken Crown. And they've just recently released the Man Gauche supplement, which you should go and be checking out if you're into demons and dark magic and vehicles. Lots and lots of vehicles. I was looking at that book last night, the Libra, I think it's called Vehicularum or something like that. But there are lots of very, very cool vehicle options in there, and I am excited for when we eventually get to a high-speed chase in one of these fantasy vehicles. But right now, I believe we're in a dark and perilous place in a murder hole. Susie.
Well, you say a murder hole.
Excuse you, this is one of my hideouts? Don't come into my place and call it a murder hole.
I only call it that because I seem to remember I have a dagger to my throat as I step across the threshold.
Okay, so that did happen. But before we get to there, we're going to do one of those 80s movie record scratch. I suppose you're wondering how I got here. Turn to the camera, rewind. So the week before that, the gang were fighting for their lives in the den of cannibals. It was nasty, it was grim, it was perilous. There were many injuries, there were a couple of deaths. But nonetheless, the gang managed to scrape through and defeat Gabriella, the evil necromancer, and her reanimated husband, Jacob. By the way, your guys' faces the first time Jacob got back up after being killed was beautiful. Anyway, after defeating Gabriella and Jacob, Kit went off to investigate to find out a little bit more about this reanimation magics, because she might have a bit of a scheme brewing that she doesn't want her goddess to notice, which is why she said, "Hey, Protector, can you just look over here while I go into this spooky little ritual room and poke around at this book, which is definitely made of people?"
She didn't start going upstairs with the intention of finding the spooky book that holds the secret to the reanimation. She went up to go and, check there was no one else that's going to ambush us, no one else that's going to be running away, telling people about the good things we were doing, like smuggling a baby out the sea. And she came across the shrine with the questionable book and saw an opportunity.
Okay, so that's how you're spinning it. Yeah, alright, okay.
She has been abandoned by her goddess, though, as the dice rolls proved.
And the storm tells her. The protector is unhappy with Kit and her poking around with necromancy and just general... Do you know what it was? It was the big lie she told. Can't lie if you're a protector.
She may have lied to her protector friend about her relationship with Carter and her intentions of leaving the city to go and investigate that alchemist who was definitely at the heart of a plot to kill the current king.
I mean, I'm sure Kit has investigated Carter before. I ship it.
Investigated very thoroughly.
Very. Anyway, a spooky book that was definitely made of people full of dark, horrible, evil magics was discovered. Kit cut out the pages that she thought would be relevant to her, snuck them down into her top, and tried to destroy the book, but it would not burn. She snuck her way back downstairs, did not tell anyone about the spooky pages pressed against her chest, and they made their way out of the coach house into the woods. Now, Pike knew of a nearby cache which they could hole up in for the night, as it was still quite dark and rainy and horrible and cold and just bad. And they made their way through the woodlands quite successfully, and found this cache. They're about to head in when Kit's like, hang on, I'm gonna go check this place out first. Nobody, just stay here. I'm going. And she tottered down into the darkness. She went down a little passageway into a wider room that opened up, and she felt the cold sting of a blade at her throat. And she heard whispered in the darkness, "Who are you?" And that is where we will rejoin the action.
And with that, I have opened that corruption poll. All of your options are there, so it's exclamation point vote, and then a space, and then the number of your choosing. So take a look in chat, choose who you think from that story deserves to be corrupted, who has been an agent of chaos and done bad things, who has been too good and clearly needs to be more corrupted to do more bad things. I mean, swings and roundabouts. So Kit, this knife against her throat, kind of swallows and feels like as it kind of bulges out and then bulges back in, like just how sharp this blade is. Friends, there is a storm outside and we need shelter. I did not know the hall was already occupied. We have a child with us and it is raining hard. Can you not share?
You can't quite make out this figure, as you've only got the light from the moon, what little is filtering through the trees into this sort of hole that you descended into. But you can see that this figure is smaller than you. About 5'5", 5'6", and there's a sort of haze around them where light is hitting hair, maybe. And you see them kind of move in the darkness. You sense that they're looking past you.
I don't know if this is going to help or hinder my case, but I'm traveling with Pike.
You hear the voice say, "I do not know a Pike."
That's probably for the best.
And
look,
you hear something that you swear sounds like a sniff. As if this person is getting a whiff of you. You smell. And you feel the blade pulled away from your throat.
I told you it is a dark and stormy night. There's a lot of mud and blood and shit on the road that we've just trampled down.
It is not that I smell. Please, invite your friends in.
It's a very long story.
They step back.
And after kind of completing it's a very long story, she turns over her shoulder and kind of gives like a low call for Carter. Carter!
Yeah, Kata is in there in a second.
I believe I'm still half tied to Kata's back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you are. So we arrive together, and Kata sees this person. Is their dagger still like out in their hand, invisible?
It's out and it does kind of gleam, but it's not held in like an offensive position. It's kind of just down by her side now.
Okay. So yeah, Kata will come and just stand next to Kit, maybe like one hand on her shoulder, like, what's going on in here?
It appears we are not the only ones taking shelter from the storm. And I've reopened that poll, so if you didn't vote, get your votes in now. Look. And she nods in the direction the figure went, as if she can see in the dark. Kit cannot see in the dark.
Well, we're not looking for a fight. Can we just share this space for the night and we'll get out of here at first light?
You hear kind of just beyond your like immediate sight where any sort of light coming through would help. You hear the sounds of like feet moving around, and the voice says again, "No, you've had your share of fighting for the night. I can tell that here." And then there's just a bright burst of flame at the back as a campfire is just. And as this light sort of scorches your eyes for a moment and you blink and try to readjust, you see what appears to be a small human woman. Her hair is wild. Her skin is very pale, but it's painted and daubed in these like dark paints all over her. She's wearing very sort of clearly clothing she's made herself from animal skins and furs. And she's tucking the knife back into her belt.
Who exactly are you?
Who am I? Dear, you're in my woods.
Do I recognize the markings on this woman, or have I heard any rumors about this person?
Let's see.
Can I make a rumor check?
Yeah, make me a rumor check, see if you know about this person.
Alright.
I likewise, since this is like a smuggler den, does this look familiar to me?
This person?
Yeah.
Roll me a rumor check too.
Alright, my goal is 48%. I'm rolling real dice tonight for funsies. So I don't trust fancy rolls anymore. Ooh, 30, I succeed.
62, I fail.
Okay, so Kit, in your sort of training exercises in and around the city before everything was terrible, you remember it's mainly like a story to spook younger acolytes and apprentices that there is a witch that lives in the woodlands.
I apologize if we are trespassing, however, the storm gives us no choice and we need shelter.
Yes,
My
you
name
do.
is Kit Ari. I am a priestess of the Protector.
Oh, I know you, Kitari. And I know you too, Kata and Piker and Folk. And I know that you have the King's Bastard with you.
Who are you?
No.
Who am I? I'm Meredith.
Meredith?
Low under her breath, Kit turns to Carter and goes, "Wood switch."
I've seen
All
you.
right.
I've seen you all. I've seen you walking, traveling lost in the darkness, carrying the child. I've seen you in the blood and the bones. I've seen you. I knew you would come here.
And what part do you take in it?
Me? Well,
Yes.
it was not shown to me, but I think I may be able to help you. You look wounded. You smell wounded. There's death around all of you. And she's like staring at Pike as she says that.
Pike is half asleep, so valid.
Did you see too what we would cross at that inn? Or do you purely know because you are local what was in that building?
As you say that, her eyes kind of grow wide and her brow furrows. And she kind of tilts her head. That I did not see what happened.
Dark times. People who consume the flesh of people. People reborn from the dirt. And Kit is kind of buying time, trying to decide if she wants to get Sister Eden inside and Cecily inside, or like figure out a way that she can get to the door to signal them to run like hell away from this place.
So I'm not even going to give you a check for this. As you mention about the cannibals, she seems completely unfazed by it. There is no shock to her face about that news.
We were an intended meal, it would seem.
What
So
is
you
it
met
that
my
you eat,
sister.
if you don't mind my asking?
Why, meat of animal. The deer, the rabbits. Vegetables. I have a vegetable patch at my home.
Have you
It's
ever
quite lovely.
eaten a human or an ogre
No. No.
or elf or halfling or...
No.
Wait, you have a home? Why are you here?
I was out hunting and the weather turned and I sought shelter. And you see, just past her, where the fire is, there's a carcass, a deer carcass on the ground.
Can I
Look.
kind of scrutinize her to see if in her body language she's kind of shifting to try and trap us in here, or if she's kind of being pretty like open, like, yeah, it's my words, yeah, I knew about the cannibals.
Yeah,
I
go
want to
for
help. Alright. So my target is scrutinize. 36.
I would say this is an easy test because she's not trying to hide.
I would fail regardless. Around 61.
Oh. You know, you're looking her over. She doesn't seem like she's trying to maneuver you or anything like that. She's not trying to close off.
I think that the failure kind of reflects like that Kit didn't twig about the cannibals quickly in the inn, and so she's now second guessing everything that she's judging about people.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just tell us right now if you're going to try to kill us? That would just make
No.
things a lot easier. No, you can't tell us, or no, you're not going to try to kill us?
I do not kill. I do not kill. Only the animals. Only my food. You are not my food. I will heal you. You are all very wounded.
Kata, the storm is growing worse.
Yeah, and it's not like we have any other options.
We need to get the kid inside.
Yeah.
I'll fetch them. And she kind of looks to see if the witch is going to kind of stop her.
She
Can we
just kind
bring
of
more
sits down and
people?
starts. Yeah, she sort of just starts to ignore you at this point. She sits down and starts dressing the carcass that she's brought in. She just
Right,
kind of
then
waves
Kit
you
will
off.
Go outside and she'll go and get Sister Eden and Cecily.
And at this point, Kata will finally let Pike down.
I mean, it's terribly ungraceful, and Pike stands for about half a second, and then just kadunks onto the ground. She's not doing great, y'all.
I think Sister Eden would tend to Pike on the ground.
Pike's not like unconscious, but Pike has just gotten to the point where it's just like, I'm too tired to like do anything and fight like gravity. So I'm just lying like tipped on the side, staring at the wall.
So as everybody comes back in and gets kind of situated, it's much warmer in here now. This fire is a welcome relief from the cold and the rain and the wind outside. And Meredith is just kind of sat there. She's like elbows deep in this deer, just pulling out guts and skinning it.
So, Susie, I won that poll. Would you like to roll a d6 to see how far up my corruption meter I'm going to go today?
I sure will. Hang on.
That's not quite the actual official Zweihander mechanic, but because this is the finale and it's fun to make things dramatic,
And if we can give her all the corruption, all right.
Kit currently needs 5 points to hit her chaos disorder.
Well, hey, luckily for you, I rolled a 5. I'm not even kidding. It was a 5.
Oh no.
All right. So her chaos alignment is hatred, and she gains a disorder. So I will go and have a look at those disorders and see what that would be. A disorder, for anyone wondering, is kind of like an anti-feat. It's something that is gonna make rolls harder or that sort of thing. They're always a lot of fun. So Kit is stewing in the corner, growing more and more angry with herself for what happened at the inn. And I think just for a lot of things that have happened recently, Kato is right. It's just easier if people tell us they're going to try and kill us. And she's thinking about John. John. And how she should have just shanked him then and there. And then thinking how useless she is. And, you know, the cycle of, like, self-pity and anger is just circling round and round. She's this little bubble of darkness in the corner.
So as Kit is having a little temper tantrum in the corner, Meredith comes over with a bowl towards Pike and Sister Eden and the baby. And Sister Eden, as you get closer, you can smell what's in this bowl. It smells like blood. And there's like some herbs or something sprinkled on top, but it's mostly blood.
Yeah, and Sister Eden's gonna like cradle the baby and like try to like back up a little bit. She's not really into this witch, I guess.
Can I try to examine with alchemy, like what exactly? Just basically try to figure out if this is poison or if it would heal.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to roll that for me, Jess. And what would Cecily be doing, Shauna?
Cecily's just gonna look at Pike and Kent, just like, oh, so we're just cool now with just getting food from strangers now. This smells like blood.
I got a 14.
Damn. Okay, so from what you gathered, from what you saw, I mean, you didn't see the exact contents that she sort of sprinkled into this blood. But there's no sort of immediate visible signifier of poison. And as you give it a smell, there's no like distinct smells of anything like hemlock or anything that's like almondy or anything like that would give it away as being a poison.
No, Cecily, we're not fine with just eating whatever strangers give to us. We need to rest in this hole, and we've been offered the place to rest. Eat or don't eat. Kit just snaps from the corner.
I literally can't move, Cecily. I don't know what you want from me.
Fine. And then she'll just like take out her flask and just start drinking. I think I'll just take from my own stock this point. Great.
And Meredith approaches you, Pike, with this bowl. May I approach? May I approach? It's healing. It will heal you.
Yeah, sure, why not? It's not like it's the worst thing that could happen today. Ow.
That's the spirit, Pike.
She comes up to you, Pike, and she dabs her fingers in it, 2 fingers in it, and she draws some symbols on your face. And it's not a great feeling. It feels pretty gross. It smells worse. And then
Does it smell worse than the guts that were exploded onto me?
No. It smells better than that, because it's fresh.
If her back is to me, I'm just making like this motion of like, do we just like knock her head? Do we just like knock her the hell out at this point? At anybody that I'm just staring like. No.
Pike is like, my bar is really low. This isn't the worst thing that's happened to me today.
And as you're sort of adjusting to this, you are suddenly taken by surprise as she grabs your nose, pinches it shut, and tilts your head back, and begins to pour the rest of this bowl down your throat.
What?
I would like you to make me
I feel like I should make a save for this or something.
Make me a toughness check.
Where,
and this is gonna be challenging at -10 because she's literally holding your nose shut, so you can't.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, wait, where, oh, there it is. Oh,
Are
I'm
you having flashbacks to when Kit was doing first aid?
This is a lot like that. Maybe this is.
It's so
Kata was
sad.
standing there like, I asked if you were gonna kill us.
But like, here's the thing. She's holding her nose this time. At least Kit just full on waterboarded me. Again, this is not the worst thing I've gone through.
Not the worst thing an ally has inflicted on you.
Like he's gone through so much shit. This isn't that bad.
All right.
This is gonna be a 32.
A 32?
I fail. It's a 47.
Okay, so you begin to choke because this is thick. This is blood. This is not like water. This is viscous. And as it's being poured down your throat, you weren't expecting it. So you breathe in as she pours and you just start to cough and it's being spat out and she tips it and then shuts your mouth. And says, don't. She's kind of holding it shut until you swallow.
I feel like I'm getting insight into how you give Cisco pills.
My cat.
Don't spit it out.
Did you take it, you little shit? He takes tablets. I swear to God, he does. Okay.
Could you, hey, warning is a thing people can do. You can warn people before you shove stuff into their throat.
She smiles widely and says, "See, that's a good sign. That means you're alive. You're coughing. You're choking. It's a live breath. It's good."
Wahoo!
And she sort of pats your cheek. You'll be right.
Yay! I'm so happy.
And she again looks at the baby as she walks past, and Sister Eden clutching. And she turns to Eden and says, "That is not your baby."
No. It's not.
Then why do you clutch it so tight?
Because every baby is precious.
But that one's a bit more precious than other babies, isn't it now?
I wouldn't know. All babies are precious.
Not very well, not very good, not very, very wholesome for a sister to lie in such a way, is it?
I don't know what you mean.
Close that eye or you will, sister, but your goddess sees, she knows, she sees. She speaks. She's seen everything.
Sister Eden would just turn away.
And she looks as if she's about to reach out to the baby and then considers it again and does not, and heads back to the deer carcass and starts to chop it up and strip meat off bone and starts cooking it over this fire. So, actually I needed to make that heal test for Pike after she's just tried to force feed us.
God. I'm waiting for the crit fail to happen.
All right, now I've got the results. I'll let you know when it's relevant.
That's fine.
Okay, so
It's fine.
It's okay.
what would you like to do as Meredith is cooking this deer meat at the back of the this sort of cache?
Well, Kata has definitely seen Kit like fuming in a corner, and I mean walked the length of the cave basically like this after seeing what Meredith did to Pike. Like, I asked, you said you weren't going to kill us. This is ridiculous. But is focusing on Kit and is like sat down next to her and tried to put an arm around her and just say, "Hey, you seem, I mean, everything is bad. I get that. Are you okay?"
And Kata will feel Kit's kind of shoulders rise, almost as if she's gonna shrug off like Kata's arm, but she doesn't like quite shrug her off. It has been a hell of a thing. What is it all for? I thought it was the right thing. But if it was the right thing, why would she leave me?
I won't pretend to understand what's going on here, but I I have to believe that, you know, things won't always be this bad.
What is it you do believe, Kata? Who is the king?
Not the person who should be.
No. Not the person who should be. But he is king.
For now.
Kata, do you remember our conversation? And Kit's voice is now getting more quiet, and she's kind of turning into the arm and into Kata. Kind of shield her mouth from prying eyes who might lip read. I have found something. You won't like it.
What have you found?
I found it at the inn. And she very slowly lifts the lapel of her jacket and pulls it away, and you can see the... I was gonna say parchment, but that's not what it is at all. I can't think what it's called. What was it called?
Skin?
Yeah, the skin with the writing on it. I think with this, if we can find the parts of the king, we can return him. We can fix what was broken. And then she closes that jacket protectively over it.
I won't pretend to understand how something like that would work, or how it would work and be different from what we saw with Jacob, but if you believe you found a way to fix things, then I believe in you.
It is like alchemy. You make one thing out of another thing. Or out of many other things. But it doesn't make that gold that you make any less gold.
It doesn't make it less gold, but when you make one thing out of another thing, you inherently change that thing.
What else is there to do, Kata? This child is barely a child. And that king that I am sworn to protect, he's dangerous. He's wrong. And he will have you killed, Kata.
Whatever it is that you want to do, I'm with you.
Except for when I think staying in a cannibal inn in the middle of a storm is a good idea.
Well, except for that, but I mean, we can all agree on that one, I think.
And she glances to the others. Such a strange assortment of people we have found for ourselves. I trust the sister. And Cecily has strange and hidden talents. Perhaps they are not simply the worthy entertainer they have presented themselves at. They seem far more trained with martial weapons than I would have expected for that quarter.
I mean, you never can tell with some people. Everyone hides something.
Perhaps you can find out their story. I do not think anyone here will talk to me.
I'll see what I can do.
See if you can persuade them to part with that drink. My head is still hurting.
Alright. I'll ask. And Kata will just get up and ask Cecily for a drink.
Kata
basically.
moves to shift. Kit will reach and kind of grab the ogre's hand and give her a little squeeze.
Kata squeezes back and smiles down at her.
Kit can't, like, she tries to like force a smile, but it's feeble. It's clear that she's just not in a good mood, and she can't even make herself pretend to be.
It's okay, Kata's smiling big enough for the both of us.
This just got really wholesome.
Oh no.
This is where things go really well before it all falls apart, right? Like that's what I
Exactly.
feel like. I'm scared. It's too cute. It's too good.
I mean, we were just talking about necromancy. If it makes you feel any better.
I'm pre-mad. I'm pre-mad at you, Susie.
I thought you were saying you're pre-med, and I'm like, if this is the kind of med that you do.
I've done nothing. Okay.
Well, we all know
Yes.
that something's coming.
Yet.
Something is
I'm
yeah.
upset. Yet.
Okay, so after this lovely wholesome moment, Kata disengages from Kit and moves over to Cecily.
Oh, hey, think you could spare some of that booze for our resident priestess? She's kind of having a tough time with things.
You know what? I think we're all having a tough time, but sure, go ahead. She might need this more than I do. It's the last thing that isn't made of people or flesh wine. I don't know. Here, just take it. But what are we doing about that woman right there? We're cool with this, right? This. You saw the way she was looking with the baby.
I am not cool with it, no, but there's also not a whole lot to be done right now. We'll see. I didn't detect any poison in whatever thing she gave to Pike, so time will tell, I guess, if Pike will be better or not, and I guess we'll see.
Yeah, so we just keep one eye on our new friend there. That deer. Oh, I thought this was supposed to be a smuggler's tunnel. Usually people aren't just sitting in smuggler's tunnels.
Well, she said she was caught out here in the storm, but you'd have to ask Pike about that because I've never been here before. But let me pass this off to Kit real quick, and Kata will go back to give Kit the booze. And then just sort of like watch Meredith, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I imagine time passes feels like it passes very slowly in here as you're all just kind of on edge waiting for this woman to do something. But she seems completely like blissfully unaware. She's just set to butchering this deer basically. And she's sort of made this makeshift spit, and she's got this this meat cooking right, and it smells so good. And you haven't eaten for some time. It has been some time since you've it's probably since the Abbey for most of you. Not for Cecily and Kit, who did partake of people pie, but for Pike, Carter, and Sister Eden, your stomachs must be growling at the smell of this food. And it's just, and she's got some herbs from somewhere, she's seasoning it, and she's just happily humming away to herself. And once it's cooked, she sort of offers the spit to all of you first before she eats. Not poison, not poison, not poison, just gesture of goodwill. Hospitality.
Look, I'm not dead yet. I'll take a piece. Pike hasn't eaten for days, and she's sort of used to it, but it's after nearly dying. She definitely just sort of stumbles over and takes a piece and looks at it. And you know what? Hey, this one's cooked at least. and it's not getting shoved down my throat. Again, not the worst thing that's happened to me.
And we saw her take it off of a deer, so we know it's not people.
Yeah, we know it's not people. We saw it
Unless you
come from
turn
an
people into a deer, then it might be people. Kit turns to kind of like our hostess and says, "Tell me, Meredith, what is it that we can offer you in exchange for your company on this treacherous night?" And she kind of looks up as I think we still hear that thunder kind of crashing around, shaking the trees, turning things up.
Her face falls very serious at this. And the spit she's holding kind of drops in her hand. And she says, You've already paid the price. I do not want anything from you.
And Kit's face kind of goes through a range of emotions, and she's trying to process this and figure out what she means. What price did we pay?
You did what I could not.
A little more specificity, if you don't mind.
I was unsurprised of what you told me about the coach house. Gabriella is my sister.
I would say I am sorry for your loss, but I am not.
And a range of emotions crosses her face, from anger to like fear to sadness to her own sort of grief. And she looks up and she has tears in her eyes at this point. They're not fully flowing, but you know when someone's eyes well up. And she says, "I lost her a long time ago. Gone."
It is easy to wander off of the path into darker places.
She was never really on the path. Always her own path. Somewhere else. Something, someone, always.
Someone else. She served someone.
Don't we all? You serve someone. Sister
I do.
follows someone.
Different someones. Which of the darkness did she follow?
I never knew its name. No, I don't know. She never questioned, never asked, never saw.
Alright. She is at final rest and will not rise or be disturbed.
How can you be so sure? How do you know?
Trust me, we were very motivated to ensure she would never stir again. And I destroyed her shrine as best I could.
And she kind of like straightens up and her eyes are wide as you say this. I knew I could smell it. You brought some with you, didn't you? That's why it clings to you, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
And she sort of like moves towards you. You're hiding things, aren't you, Kit? From you, from your friends, from your goddess, aren't you, Kit?
My goddess hides from me.
No, she doesn't. I see her, I hear her. She is angry. She is upset, she grieves.
Her king was stolen from her. I will restore him. And there's like definite It's anger, but it's not like the kind of anger where you shout. It's the kind of anger where you get real quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of glances down towards her own kind of outfit, kind of indicating, where it is.
Mm-hmm.
I want to lie
And
to you.
she's holding your gaze now, and there's an intensity there behind her eyes.
Your sister had some things that were very curious to me. Bad things that I believe can be bent for good. That can mend what was broken.
And she is shaking her head. No, never. No, never like that. Never like that. Never, ever like that. The will of the jackal cannot be bent. Cannot be twisted. Not for what you want. No. You saw what became of Jacob. He was a good man. I loved Jacob. He was a good man. And you saw what? No. And she is.
Yes. No more worry for you. We will leave when the dawn is here and the storm is past.
The storm will never pass. The storm is here.
And Kit starts to back up. Because she's not kind of willing to back down on what she's got or on her plan at this point. That's just not her mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't really want to end up having a fight right now with a woods witch.
Mm-hmm. And she seeing the determination in your eyes and hearing it in your voice about this dark magic that you carry, she now points an accusatory finger at you and she says, "You will fail, Kit Irie. You will fail. You will not protect him. You will doom us all and you will fail."
Then give me a better way!
And she's like taking a deep, I don't know of a better way, but that is not the way.
It is the only way. Turn your eyes to the others. Tell their fortunes. We are done talking.
And she kind of just looks at the rest of you like, you are going to stand by and let her doom everybody. She's going to, and she's like hyperventilating and pacing at this point. She does not know with what she meddles. She does not know with what she toys with, what she brings to this.
We don't know what she toys with. Kit, what do you have?
I have part of the woman's book. I intend to study it to see what potential answers it gives me, and it is none of your business, Pike.
It's a book, so what?
I nearly died earlier today. I think if this is my business, I nearly died to one of those creatures she made. If you are gonna raise another one, yeah, it's kind of my goddamn business.
I have no intention of raising another one. My
And
intention
what are you
is
intending to raise?
My intention is to ensure that child makes it to where it needs to where it needs to be safe. My intention is to raise and restore what was taken from our city. The crown is a lie covered in blood.
So bringing back the dead is gonna fix that?
I do not know.
And Meredith butts in again. For what she asks requires sacrifice. To restore a king requires the blood of a king, and she is staring at the baby.
Pike stands
Would
up
you-
and goes immediately between the baby and Kit.
I don't think Kit was ever intending to do anything like what you're suggesting. She said that she took the pages so she could study them, not so that she could go around murdering children. We're speaking in extreme hypotheticals here. We have no idea what Kit was planning to do, but I know Kit, and she would never hurt Griff.
I totally forgot that was the baby's name.
I don't think I ever knew the baby's name.
Baby.
I see her. I see the madness that has gripped her
I
mind.
made a vow I will protect true kings. There is another if I am required to do such a thing. But I have yet to read these pages. I have yet to do my work.
You shouldn't read those pages. You shouldn't look at them in the first place.
What do you fear, truly, Pike? What is
You are
it
breaking.
that is really troubling you? A thug in the city nearly ended your life just yesterday.
Look,
a
I
cart
live
could
and
run you
die.
over tomorrow.
Yes, I know. That's part of life. Death is part of life. It's a cycle. The moon gets full and it waxes and wanes and it keeps going because that is how life works. Change happens. Death
Who
happens.
is the
and you
king,
deal with
Pike?
it doesn't matter. The king is dead. There is a new king now, and at some point in the future, that king will die and a new one will take his place. The
You
gods
owe
live, the
loyalty
gods
to
die, the
anyone?
gods listen to us.
Do you owe loyalty to anyone, Pike?
I am protecting this kid. I don't care
Good.
whose kid it is. I am protecting this kid.
You should.
And if that means protecting it from you, then I will.
I am not
Again,
a
Kit never
danger.
intended to harm a
Great.
kid.
Enough argument for tonight. It's dark. It's late.
Yes, I
can't
agree.
believe anyone in here would think that Kit would do something like this because some stranger looked at a baby. She has no idea what Kit is thinking. She has no idea what any of us know or intend. Let's drop this and rest, and in the morning we'll figure out our next steps.
Yes, our problem right now is we have a real-ass angry king and real-ass guards coming to kill us. We can deal with this theological bit like shit later. We need to rest.
Tell me, Meredith. Can you see anyone if you look hard enough?
I don't.
There is
Yeah.
a captain. Captain Emilia Richter. I have a letter from her. If you use that, can you see her?
I can try. Why?
Because she will follow us. She knows what we have. She will search for it. And Kit will pull out the letter from her pocket. It's probably like some sort of order, like official decree.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll kind of glance to Sister Eden. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Please. And she's gonna retreat back to her little dark corner.
Sister Eden's just gonna take the baby that she's been cradling and kind of like, slowly back away from the whole group.
Okay. With the aim to flee, or is she just sort of like getting ready to if Kit looks a bit stabby, or you know?
Getting ready to, I think she wants to get herself between like the group and a door and like some kind of exit. She doesn't care about the political climate. She just wants to save this little baby life if that's what needs to happen.
Okay. So, as you're sort of making, getting yourself ready, Meredith looks at you, Sister Eden, and you hear very quietly, almost like she's speaking directly to you. She's at the other end of the room, but in a whisper you hear her say, Don't fear, don't fear. You're safe.
I would just look at her.
Mm-hmm. And she moves forward, and her mouth didn't move when she spoke to you, and she kind of takes this letter from Kit and retreats back. And she's looking at it, and she's focusing on it. And she says, I need more things. I need more reagents. I need to visit my home, my stores. And then I can see the woman you seek. In the morning we go. You'll be safe. No one has ever found the home of Meredith. Deep, deep in the forest. Safe. Far away. And she's kind of like rubbing it with her thumbs as she's talking.
Is she talking to anyone in particular?
She's just kind of announcing it to the room. In her own little world, little bubble.
Which direction into the woods? Because I think we need to go like southeast, right?
I think so. I think that's where you're going. And she says, "Oh, direction is not. It's not about where, but how and when and why you go.
The baby's safe haven is southeast."
And she kind of, she seems to be like, the longer you have this conversation, the less in touch with the room she seems to be.
She's sort of place.
And she's like, no, the boy, no, safe, not safe with family. No, they'll find him. Pretty little head mounted on a spike, they'll find him.
No.
Not safe. Rakotis is where you must go. And you all know Rakotis is the name of the oasis city that is definitely not Alexandria, but is definitely Alexandria.
And
there you'll find answers. There you'll find safety. There you'll find passage.
Concerned and questioning, but then she actually kind of looks to check with the rest of the group, like, all right, are we going with this woman, or are we going with our original plan?
Well, if we're going to Rakotis, we should go. Do we really need to know the whereabouts of Captain Richter?
It would be good to know how close behind us she is. Pike?
She will hunt, and you are not all well. It will take days to heal. Her. And she points to Pike. One more bump and she's done. Never coming back. Never. Unless you read your book.
Sister Eden.
I would not ask that for the world.
Sister Eden, you move away from the fire. It's cold out there. Where would Mother have us go?
As scared as I am, I trust this woman. I think we should follow her direction.
Cecily.
I mean, a trip there takes means that we don't have, and we can't make that with Pike in this condition. Our thing was to go, our job, right, Pike, was to go and deliver this baby to her family, right?
Keep the baby safe. I never got a specific family name or location to drop this baby off at. The goal was to scout and see if it was safe, and if so, proceed. If not, find something else.
And then what? And then what do we do? Do we take this baby forever?
I'll do it. Yes.
I'm
We're wanted.
This is my job. I'll take care of this kid for as long as I can.
Oh, this is all our jobs now, I guess, because, well, there's no going back for any of us. We're wanted by the king.
The sister trusts you. and it seems we have little choice. Tomorrow we will go into the woods where no one has found Meredith's house. From there, we can figure out the rest. We have no transport, no supplies. It's the thing that makes the most sense. And she's kind of trying to like justify it on a logical level, but I think even in Kit's gut, she's like, we should go with this woman. This woman knows shit that we need to know.
She's kind of like in a grump saying, yes, fine, whatever. Ugh, like a teenager.
Fine, don't expect me to like it though.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah, I think we're both like teenagers, like just opposite ways. Like, no, this is crazy talk.
As for was it Rakotis? Is that how is that? Yeah.
Rakotis,
yeah.
As for Rakotis, that is a discussion for after sleep and food, real food, and more drink, I think. And she kind of takes a swig from Cecily's drink, and then she'll offer it back to Cecily, not wanting to hog it, although she's very not so happy to be handing it over. She kind of does want to just drink the whole thing, but she's trying not to be a total bitch in this moment. Very hard, but she's trying.
You just see Cecily just push it back. It's like, well, I think you're gonna need this more than I will. And she'll just sit back and just kind of pout in the corner.
So as you all settle down for the night, Meredith sort of walks past you all to the exit. I'm not about to say outrance. That's not a word.
Outrance.
Outrance.
It is now. Look,
It is out. It is out.
On the 6th day, I did carry a grip of basil to the outrance, and there I did meet my lover.
We exchanged grips at the outrance.
Outrance. Oh.
I mean, wherever you want to grip, yo.
Oh boy, howdy.
Child.
Okay, so she walks to the exit, and you hear her mutter something in a language you don't understand. This seems very old. This seems ancient, just with the gravity with which it's being spoken. And there's no notable difference, but as she comes back in, she says, now we are safe. Now they won't find us. Now we are hidden, protected, safe by nature. Sleep as babes. And she goes back and settles down in her corner. And she kind of just hunches and sits down, like with her knees pressed up close.
I would like to go and ask Meredith if she has any supplies for a baby.
She says, not here. I saw the child, did not expect to meet him so soon. At home, in my home, yes. Goat's milk.
In your home we'll be there soon.
In the morning. He will live.
The baby is hungry and he's tired. He needs a bed. He needs food.
In the morning, all will be given, all provided.
And and we're safe here to sleep. The baby and me.
I swear on everything on. And she's looking around for things to swear on.
You swear on the mother.
The mother, the father, all of them, all of them. I swear upon.
All of them.
And
I think Sister Eden will take all of them, like, very seriously. Where shall we sleep? Where's the safest place?
She pats the earth right next to her.
Sister Eden sits down next to Meredith.
And as you sort of start to drift off, you feel a hand like patting your hair, like in a soothing manner, and she's humming she's humming a very like peaceful lullaby. You don't know if it's really generally to you or just whatever in general, but she's just kind of low-key petting your hair and humming to herself as you drift off to sleep.
Kato will definitely kind of pull Kit and Cecily aside to set up a watch through the night so that we're not all asleep at the same time.
Yeah.
All right, who's up first?
And like she tells Pike about it, but it's also like, Pike, you should sleep though. You're half dead.
Yes, I think otherwise Cecily would have not slept. She would just stayed up and just staring at this, like, just she's gonna kill us in her sleep.
I think Kit would volunteer to go first, and she would actually give Carter half of the pages that she has stuck down her top. As a gesture of, here you go, you have half. If you don't trust me with the whole lot, or, you know, they don't trust me with the whole lot, you take this half. I can't do anything without the whole that I've chosen.
Alright, Kato would like roll them up and stick them in her, in one of the like bandolier slots. So that it's like obvious that they're there.
I'll take first watch. Cecily, I seem to remember you don't like to rise too early in the day. Perhaps you should take
I don't think that
second
matters
watch.
now.
I appreciate your flexibility.
Yes, well, I think I just don't want to go to sleep and not wake up, so whatever prevents that, I am fine with.
Kit finds some amusement in the idea of going to sleep and not waking up being undesirable, considering they just had like a whole argument about necromancy. But okay. I'll go first, then Cecily, and then Kata. You rise early to the alchemist shop. I trust that you will be able to wake.
I mean, she used to.
I will.
Susie, now is not the time. We know what you did.
All right. Okay. So, you sort of get set up and you sort of huddle together to sleep. And Kit, you are left awake. And as everybody else is sleeping, you can hear from the other end of this room, you still hear Meredith humming to herself. And you hear, again, very similar to how Sister Eden hear it, you hear her voice. It's very quiet. Almost like she's next to you. It was not your fault. No, no, no. Nothing you could have done. Not your fault, Kittery. Not your fault. Does Kit react to this, Charlie?
I don't think she does. But I think about a minute later, there's probably like the slightest of sniffs as she like wipes her nose and like her eye a little bit. But other than that, she's kind of like stoically just staring at that one entrance into this dirt dugout.
Okay, so I would like you to roll me a awareness check, and we're going to make this challenging, so minus 10%.
Oh dear. I rolled a 70, so that basically becomes an 80. That's not quite how it works, but basically I fail rather dramatically.
Okay, so
Damn smoke getting in my eyes.
Smoke in your eyes, yeah, as you weep, and you don't like hear anything, and you're keeping your eyes locked on that entrance, and you don't see anything move. You don't even see anybody move within this sort of room. I mean, there's the odd sort of shuffle, but it's very quiet. It's very, very quiet, and you have nothing else but your thoughts with you, and the small hum in the background of Meredith. But before long, it's time to wake up Cecily.
And I think for a little while, she kind of just been sat there, just like trying to get the emotion out, and like that kind of silent crying thing where like your chin's going, the lips going, and then the shoulders. But by the time like Cecily's there, it's like her eyes like just red raw, and she clears her throat. Cecily, it is time to wake up.
No, 5 more minutes.
She like, no, Cecily, no.
Oh God, fine. I should. All right.
Remember, you were told not to wake up. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. Oh God, it's such a headache. She just kind of like stumbles and just kind of gets into a sitting position, just kind of just sits there, just like miserably.
Here, my favorite headache cure, and she hands over that tiny flask that you'd given her. And, like, there's basically a swallow left in the bottom of whatever was in it.
Well, this will definitely chase away the headache, whatever's left. We'll leave. Well, we'll get more, hopefully.
We will.
Maybe she gets some sleep.
All right.
Yeah, need it.
And Kit kind of stretches and looks around. She'll go and stoke the fire kind of one more time. And then kind of position herself close to Carter, but not lying like right next to her. And kind of curl up in a ball. And under her breath, she kind of half mutters the incantation that she's tried to do, I think, 3 or 4 times now. But she just kind of sighs and doesn't finish the spell that she was casting. And tries to close her eyes, and over in her head, I think she just hears that whisper that Meredith has sent her way. And in her own head, she kind of goes, "No, you're wrong."
All right. And Cecily, even as you awake, you hear this low humming of this melody coming from Meredith. And you look over, and she looks like she's asleep. But she's kind of sat upright with everything curled up, and she's clutching her knees, but her eyes are closed, and her head is drooped forward. But this humming, this soft melody is just emanating out of her. It's a bizarre sight to see. But I would like you to roll me an awareness check, and this will be challenging.
Okay,
so minus 10%.
So that. All right, so my target is a 69, so hopefully,
Nice.
Please.
Nice.
26.
Nice.
26. Hot damn. Okay, so as you are sort of like scoping out the room, you know, out of boredom, you're like just trying to find things of visual interest in the darkness that's illuminated by this low light.
Bizarre sight to see.
What was that? Sorry. What happened then?
No, what
no
was that?
idea
What was
what
it?
just happened.
What was that?
That was
Anyway.
I don't.
Anyway, we are extremely haunted. You see a ghost. No. You see something as you're kind of scanning the faces of everybody who's sleeping around the edges of this room towards the fire. The bundle in Sister Eden's arms that she's very carefully trying not to crush while she's asleep. There's a... You don't know if it's a trick of the light, but there's a glow. A golden glow.
She is just going to just take that, look at her flask, and just kind of just put the flask down and just like turn and not face the baby. Just like she thinks she's hallucinating, 100%.
Like I've dealt with a lot of shit today. Glowing baby.
Today's been a bad day.
No. Okay.
As long as it's not doesn't like sprout wings and like fangs start attacking people, I'm just gonna let it go. I have no idea what's going on.
All right. Okay. So you're just like, nope, not dealing with this tonight. All right. And so the rest of your watch passes peacefully, and it is Carter's time to wake up.
All right. Anything to report?
Not nothing out of, well, I think it's been a long time. I think I'm seeing things. I think I saw the baby glow a little bit.
You saw the baby glow?
It might have been some stuff from the cannibal house. I don't know.
Katz is gonna look over at Griff and see if she sees him glowing.
Okay, so now it's pointed out to you. You can see it. It's very faint glow. It's not like it's like bah right out there. It's not like the suitcase in Pulp Fiction, but there is like a little golden emanation from the child.
Is that something that I would have any clue of what's causing it?
I mean, you could roll me a, let's see if there's anything here that would apply. An education test, if you have education.
Let's see. I do have education. I need to get below 49. 32!
Dang, okay. So you live in a polytheistic civilization. There are many gods, and they are all real. And you know that King Oseron is widely believed to have been the avatar of the king, the god, the king of kings. Sorry, I've just been distracted by Green Room chat here. Highlight to the gods. Literally, this is probably, from historical writings, a mark that this is indeed King Oseron's true-born son. And something is bringing it out of him.
Does this seem like the kind of thing that, like, we see because it's right now in the moment, or something that might be like, this is a permanent thing that we have to be aware of?
All you know is that before Meredith was humming, he wasn't glowing. Now she's humming, the kid's glowing.
Cool. So Kata will just, to Cecily say, well, you're not imagining it. That's a glowing baby.
Oh, that makes you feel so much better.
Does it?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
What
we'll
does
figure
that...
this out in the morning. Well, I think it has something to do with the baby being King Oseron's true-born son. We'll figure this out. It might have something to do with Meredith. We'll figure it out in the morning when everyone's awake.
Good, maybe. I'm really hoping it's a hallucination of our shared delusions of grandeur. So, good luck. And she'll just curl up like in a corner.
All right, and Kata will just do regular observation, making sure we're not in danger.
All right, let's have that awareness check, and that is again challenging. So -10 to your total.
All right, I need, let's see, 48 is my target. We haven't used any of our tokens yet.
No.
I'm gonna use one to avoid that crit fail.
Ooh, okay.
25, that's much better.
All right, okay. So, the revelation that this is in fact, like, at least a demigod child that you have here has kind of got you on high alert. And you are like, you're like, just looking and listening and so ready for any sort of sound that, like, the rustling of the trees outside, the rain hitting the ground is all loud and present to you. And you are listening and listening and listening, but you don't hear anything that's unusual for the woodlands. You're pretty damn sure that you are undiscovered and safe.
All right. When it's time to wake up, Kata will go around waking everyone up.
All right. And so the morning comes. You have all been not murdered in your sleep. And you're all woken by Kata. The humming has stopped.
Is Griff still glowing?
No.
Hey, so Meredith,
Yes.
maybe while we're walking to your house, you can explain why your humming made baby Griff glow?
I was not humming.
What is this you're talking about, Kata?
Through the entire night, I could hear Meredith humming, and before she started humming, Griff looked normal, and when she stopped humming, Griff looked normal, but all through the night, he was glowing. You didn't see the baby glowing? Cecily saw Griff glow.
Cecily.
Oh, he was
You
definitely
see
glowing.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Try sleeping through that.
Did you enchant the child, Meredith?
I don't think she enchanted him. I think that this is a result of... I think that his glow was a result of King being the child of King Usaran, but I think that the reason we saw it was because of the humming that I heard. And if that wasn't you humming, who was it?
I'm a woman, woods witch, a being of a child of the forest. I am a conduit. Maybe the gods were reaching to their child. Maybe they were wishing, protecting.
Well, let us hope they keep that up. Pike, how do you feel this morning?
Good question. How do I feel this morning?
You feel a little better. Definitely well enough to move on to Meredith's home. But you are not by any means at all, adventure ready, right? You're not ready to, go fight anyone right now. You've had 2 concussions within the space of 24 hours. You're lucky to be alive.
When you say it like that, it's...
You're not wrong. I've had 2 concussions, 1 waterboarding, a near explosion, and then an almost waterboarding, but with blood.
Mm-hmm. Within about 24 hours. It's terrible.
I'm peachy, kid. Everything's great.
Good.
She will need help. She will need to be carried. She's still too weak. Not strong, not yet.
Thanks. This makes me feel so much better.
I mean, she's right. You do look like shit.
Thank you.
Meredith kind of
Appreciate
laughs a little bit.
I'm carrying the baby. Can someone carry Pike?
Yeah,
Everybody-
if you don't mind. I
Everyone
got you
looks
again,
at
yeah.
Kata.
Kata's already ready to heft Pike out.
Yep. I see no way out of this one. We're doing piggyback carry again?
Yeah, if that works for you.
Does it work for you? I don't particularly have a preference.
I think piggyback is the best way so my arms are still free in case
But
I need to, I don't know, do stuff with my arms.
Punch people, intimidate people.
Oh, I don't need my arms to intimidate. That's all right here, baby.
I'll go and make sure there's no ambush outside. Kit kind of takes her spear and she kind of pulls herself up. So, I guess she still has to be hunched in this space, right, Susie?
Oh, yeah, because it's maybe 5'10" in here. You know, I mean, it's not.
That's the low ceiling.
Oh, Kata's been bent in half this whole time.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Kata is this tiny place.
This
so
is
she
fine
kind
for
of
me.
takes
This is great.
her spear and kind of uses it as a walking stick in places because she can feel that tightness from the wound that she'd gotten, and I imagine her hip is sore from that whole pulled groin thing that was going on. And she'll kind of emerge, kind of spear first, digging it into the leaf litter of the woodland floor, and kind of pull herself out, and then she'll look.
All right, roll me an awareness. And it is still raining. It is still miserable. It's very grey, almost kind of dark. It's still very early.
Oh my god, my stomach just rumbled so loud. I'm so sorry. Awareness. Oh no. Okay, I rolled a 39 and I needed a 36.
No.
Wait, can we spend chaos dice to add +5 to a roll? Is that this system? No, that's not this system.
No, that's not this system.
That's not this system.
There's the tokens you could use.
Yeah, I'll use a token and go for a reroll.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Lydia. I saw that face. Lydia knows every time I do this, bad things happen. 26! Good things happened!
Oh!
It happened!
This is even more concerning for some reason.
Yeah.
So I'll update those tokens now.
So Kit, you sort of pull yourself out of this little cache in the morning, and you're looking around, and there's not a clear view to the road here. You know, you did walk some way into the woodland, but as you're looking, you're straining to listen, and you're not sure if it's the howl of the wind, if it's the rain, if it's your mind playing tricks on you, but you feel like you're being watched.
I think she's gonna push a little way out as if, you know, she's leaving. See if this watched feeling follows her. See if she can actually get anyone to move to come after her.
Okay, so you walk further out, and you kind of, I imagine she's keeping the spear like a little walking stick, but it's ready to like Gandalf it if she needs it, So she's, just like, it's the best way I could describe it.
That famous tactical move to Gandalf.
Hey, it worked against Theoden. All right, so so you walk a little bit further into the woods, and you start to you move so much where it's not completely lost behind you, the sight of the cache, but you're like getting out of visual range of it as you sort of duck around trees. And you definitely now see something moving in the corner of your eye. It's fast.
Is it like small and fast? Is it humanoid and fast? Can I tell?
It appears to be animal, but it's larger than like a dog or a cat. Not quite as big as a horse. It's kind of like in between.
Good. That's not ominous at all. Alright, what's between a dog and a cat and a horse? This is a weird scale we're working with.
Cat and a horse.
Kit's gonna break into a run and run off at like a 45-degree angle to see if she can get this thing to follow her, see if she can get it out in the open. She needs to know what this is, and the second she sees it, if she sees like it's a dangerous thing, then she'll throw the spear at it. Okay,
so you set off into a sprint. And you manage to hit to like a clearing, but the whole time you're running, you're sort of like
this is really going to hurt later.
And it sucks. It sucks so much ass. Your groin is killing you. Your legs are screaming. You get to the clearing, you spin around, and you see the creature that had been chasing you follows you. And it's bizarre. It is like a deer. With cloven, no, deers have cloven hooves, anyway. But it has like 2 sets of antlers, and its mouth extends way further back than it should, and its eyes seem to have an intelligence as they regard you. And as it does, a second set open up above the other set, and it tilts its head to look at you.
To look at it properly, and she's just frozen in place, like looking at the thing, like, what the fuck is that?
It is
she knows
nothing
like
I've
she
ever
should just be
seen.
throwing the spear right now, but there's just something about it that is keeping her from doing that. And she says under her breath, "What are you?"
And you hear it opens its mouth, and you're expecting a call, a cry, and you hear a voice that echoes, "Kittery. Welcome. I've been watching you."
Apparently everyone is watching me. Let me change the question. Who are you? And the grip now tightens on that spear. She doesn't like that it just spoke with a person voice. That's even weirder.
And it's not just a person voice, it's like 3 person voices layered on each other. You know, that horrible, like, voice.
Like a little chorus
you know
voice.
who I am. I've been with you your whole life.
And she squints and she evaluates this. Does she recognize this as like an iconic thing of anything?
No. I imagine the immediate thoughts that cross her mind is the Protector. This is like an avatar of her. And this is not... The Protector's iconography lies within lions and lionesses. This is something different.
What do you mean you've been with me my whole life? Who are you? And she kind of is gathering confidence and she's speaking louder in the hopes that someone out there, i.e. Carter preferably, or Cecily, will hear and figure out something's going wrong. But she has run away, so I don't know how likely it is her voice is carrying on this morning.
And this creature steps towards you with very slow, measured steps now. I'm here to offer you a choice, Kittery.
What kind of choice?
I know what you desire. I know what you want.
Tell me your name.
No.
I make no deals without names.
Well.
And she like pulls that spear around and like the sharp bit kind of pierces into the earth. Very demonstration-y. Like, yes, I will stab you like this.
And at this point, the creature comes right up to you. And looks
and Kit has to like focus on holding her ground because this is really fucking weird.
Yeah, and this mouth that extends all the way back on like a deer's head, and then it seems to have like dog's teeth, you know? It doesn't have like deer teeth.
Okay.
It's a shame. Your king will never live again. He's gone. Lost.
And that spear spins so that the sharp point is like at the creature's throat. You know not what you speak of, as they kind of hit into that hatred that she's feeling.
And the creature looks you dead in the eyes with all 4 of its eyes. Goodbye, Kittery. And then it plunges its throat onto the end of your spear.
And she lets out a scream. She had not been expecting it. She tried to pull the spear out. And she's just, tell me who you are! Who are you? And for some reason, she's like covering the wound. She's like trying to keep this thing alive because she now desperately wants to know what the fuck this thing is.
And it's thrashing its neck around on the end of the spear, making that wound just open up, just destroying its throat, and it just flops dead on the ground. And you are covered in like black, like ink rather than blood.
And there's this primal adrenaline-fueled scream of utter frustration as more confusing and weird and terrible things just seem to keep happening. And she's kind of down on her knees beside the animal and she's like thumping the earth with her fists in just total rage.
Okay, so back at the cache, you all hear Kit scream from outside.
Can Kaza tell what direction it's coming from? Because she's
Yeah.
darting in that direction.
Very clear.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's like cleaver.
Yeah.
Just what the hell?
So you run, and it takes you a little while to find her because the woodlands, they're quite thick and dense. But you find Kit kneeling in a clearing, and she is kneeling in a clearing.
Kit, what's wrong?
What? Deer?
There is no
Deer?
carcass. She is, as far as you can tell, just Kit as you left her in a clearing
And
on her own.
As you get closer, she says, "Who are you? Who are you?" And she's just like tearing at something you can't really see. There's leaves and dirt going flying.
Kit, what are you talking about?
They were going to make a deal, but they wouldn't tell me who they were. Who are you?
Kit,
Why would you
If
do
anyone-
this?
if anyone's looking for us, they know we're here.
What?
There's
you
nothing
already
here.
found us. Don't you
There's
see?
nothing here.
You mean there's nothing here? And she turns back. Does she still see?
Yeah, as far as you can see, the body's there, and you are covered in black.
Kato just wants to walk up directly in front of Kit and kneel down in front of her, maybe probably exactly where the carcass is.
Yeah.
And just reach out for her face and say, "Kit, look at me. There's nothing here."
Kata, you're stood right beside it. Step across and you will be standing on it. Don't careful. I don't know what it is. 2 sets of antlers and 4 eyes. The mouth. I've never heard such a thing, and I've heard so many stories. I've read all of them.
I have folklore. Is this something that I maybe would be aware of?
Roll me a folklore check. This is going to be challenging, so minus 10%.
And Kit
Okay,
pushes
and
back
then
her grey hair and smears the ichor to herself, smears the ichor through it, and then is like, "Oh, what the hell is that?"
Mm-hmm.
So my target was 39, and I rolled 39. Does that mean I
Okay.
succeed, or do I need underneath?
You succeed. I think it's if you meet it or
Match
go under
or
it.
below.
Yeah. You've heard many a tale of things that live in the woods, of ancient spirits, ancient gods beyond the ones that are currently worshipped. You've heard of manifestations of anxieties and grief and anger and fears. You've heard of monsters in the woods that parents tell children to behave. What Kit is describing could be any of those, but it sounds like it's a mix of an ancient god and everything that's preying on her mind right now.
Okay. Kit, whatever you're seeing, you're the only one who can see it right now. None of us can see it, and whatever it is, it sounds like it's done. It can't do anything else. We have to go now.
You didn't even tell me the deal. There's something I should... Yes, you should all go. I should perform the ritual, though. This place, I should consecrate it. I should cleanse this place. That thing, it works here. And she's gonna begin, so there's a thing she can do with divine magic, which is basically a ritual circle thing, where you can blast holy water, consecrate an area, that kind of thing. And she's gonna begin basically going through that, using the spear to carve holy symbols into the mud and the leaves. And
Okay. Do you need to roll an incantation for that?
I don't think so. I think I can just do it, but it takes it's either 10 minutes or an hour. I'll need to look up what the timing is. It takes a while to do.
Okay, so as you're doing that, Sister Eden, Meredith has started to lead you out of the cache, and she's very casually walking towards where everybody seemed to have run. She doesn't seem to be panicked. But she seems to be very aware. She's, her head's looking around. She's listening. She like places a hand on a tree, and like she sort of seems to space off for a second before she sort of like nods and carries on walking. Before she joins you all in the clearing, and you hear her. She takes an audible like gasp as she sees what's happened. And she steps forward, and she kneels down, Carter, to where Kit was kneeled.
You can see whatever this creature is, Meredith.
I see it. I see it. I see it.
Do you know what it was? Or what it wanted?
I don't know its intentions. I never know. And she seems to be like placing a hand on it, almost softly, reverently. Old. Very, very old this was. Very. What did you do to it?
I did nothing. I asked its name. I said I would not make a
No.
deal.
You must never ask the name. Never ask the name. Names have so much power. You should never.
I know. That is why I asked. How can I make a deal with something and not know what it was?
Did you accept the deal? Did you take it? Did you take it? Tell me you did
There
not
was
take it.
no
Tell me you did not.
time. There was no time. It threw itself on the spear.
Okay. And she nods.
It said it has always been with me. This is not the protector.
And she grabs your hand and looks at it. I see. Why did I never see you? You're marked.
What do you mean?
Something,
Marked.
someone has a bigger plan for you. For all of you. With her now. You will be marked soon enough.
You should all go. Should all go to the place where no one can follow.
It is too late. It is too late. I see it grow on all of you now.
I think at this moment, like, Cicely's just locking eyes with Pike and just like... Just shaking her head, just like...
I think Sister Eden is like completely trying to take in what Meredith says. She's there for it.
Mm-hmm.
Pike is also 100% here for it.
It is no blessing, it is no curse, it just is. Fate, some call it. Higher purpose, something, someone has plans, has machinations beyond what we know, beyond what we will ever know, but we must go. We cannot stay here.
I must
Yes,
finish the
I agree.
sacrament. It's called the Ritual of the Blessed Sacrament, by the way. I finally found it in the book.
Yeah. We need to get to your home where we have supplies for the baby. Meredith, supplies for the baby. Food.
Yes. For the child.
For the child.
Come.
But what about the creature?
It is dead. Nature will reclaim it. It will be reborn.
There's no need to know what it is. We have a baby who's hungry, who's tired.
The child. The king, the child. Come.
Mm-hmm.
And she lets you finish up your ritual, Kit, so you can sort of,
I think she'll just basically do it so it's just like a protection cycle with the runes rather than doing the full ritual.
Yeah. And she begins to lead you through the woodland, and she seems to be taking no discernible path. She makes turns at strange times, seems to triple, double, quadruple back on herself at many times. But each time she does, it's like you arrive in a different new place. It's not like you see the same tree over and over again, but you could swear that you turned around not, 10 paces ago. And she's just muttering about trust in nature. It will lead you home. It always leads you home. Just trust. And she's like touching the plants and the trees as she walks, and she seems a little bit unhinged this morning. But before long, you arrive before a really nice looking cottage with a thatched roof. It's got a little vegetable patch. There's a herb garden. There's a pen with goats in it. Like, this is like, it's like out of a storybook. This little perfect house in the middle of a glen. Come. My home is your home. Welcome. Stay. Come. And she leads you to the front door and in. And it's lovely. It's warm. It's beautiful. It's like, again, like a little quaint cottage. It does not at all look like she should be there. She looks like an ancient British druid, right? She's like half nude. She's covered in paint, crazy hair. And this looks like your grand's cottage in Cornwall. This is like a really nice summer holiday place.
Katie's gonna look around.
Those words are.
Katie's gonna look around for like the well or something to clean up because she still feels like she's covered in this creature's blood and she doesn't want to cross the threshold with that on her.
Yeah, there is like a little well with a bucket, with a little winch so you can get some water. And she immediately sets to and getting some goat's milk for the baby. Like, she just ushers you into the house, tells you to get comfortable, and she toddles off outside and starts milking one of the goats. And she's out for like an hour or so before she even gets back. Is there anything else? Is there anything you guys would want to do in that hour?
Cecil's gonna just look around. Like, she's paranoid.
I want to try to find some supplies for the baby. Anything?
Yes, so she has there's her bedroom, which is off the sort of main room living quarters, and there's like a pile of blankets and just like fresh linens and things that look like it would be good to wrap the baby up in with, and there's even one which conveniently is big enough to make a cloth diaper out of.
Oh, that's great. Is there any sort of like milk or...
Well, after about an hour or so, she comes in with a bucket of fresh goat's milk.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
And she sort of like gets a small leather bag and sort of like trims a little bit off the bottom to like a little piping bag, but for milk. Just, here you go. She offers it to you like, I don't know how to feed a baby.
I think I'm the only one on this cast that has ever had a baby.
I don't know how babies work. But anyway, she offers you like this bag of milk.
Sister Eden, we'll take this bag of milk.
I don't know.
I'm like 90% certain you don't give a bag of milk to a baby.
Hey,
like
she's a wood witch. She's never had a baby.
Yeah,
But I'm going with it. This isn't a real baby, so I'm gonna take care of that.
God baby. It's a god baby. Maybe it drinks milk from a bag. We don't know.
Right?
Yeah,
Could be
for
worse,
sure.
could be blood. No.
Yeah, she could be Canadian.
She, yes. It could be herbed blood that I'm pinching her nose and dumping it down in throat, and that's not the case. So I will take your milk bag and I will gladly feed it to this sweet infant king.
And he gladly sups of the milk. He seems to take it quite well. He doesn't fuss. And Meredith just sets to making everybody comfortable. She gets like a stew on, and then she starts digging through her sort of her like supplies that she has for her magics, and she sort of clears a space in her kitchen in front of her hearth, and she takes like a skillet and puts it on the hearth. There's a fire underneath, and she pulls out the letter which she never gave back to Kit, places it on the skillet, and drops on it a few drops of something dark and red, which is probably blood. And she throws in some flowers that she's gathered, some dried flowers, that sort of make the smoke turn a strange color, and she wafts it towards her face and breathes deeply and sits down. And she sort of sways as she does, and as her eyes pop open, and they are white. There is no iris, no, it's just all sclera. And her brow furrows, and she says, I see the woman, I see her, I see, she rides, clad in dark armor, terrible armor, dark, she rides, she has men with her, they ride, dark armor, they hounds, they have hounds, they smell, they hunger, they yearn, they bite, they smell, they, and her eyes snap back. I think she's caught a scent.
Can she find us here?
She shouldn't be able to. There are wards, there are protections, there are magics, there are things hidden. My home is hidden, always has been, always will be, has not been found.
I think the captain has friends. Higher friends. Maybe she has her own magic, I don't know. She's a woman that deals in death. In dark armor. That is ill omen.
If they have a scent, we can throw it off, can't we?
I don't know. And she's muttering, I don't know, and she's looking down, and her head snaps back up, and her eyes are white again. And this time she doesn't repeat what she says, she just screams. And she clutches at the sides of her face, and you see blood just trickle out of her nose and out of her ear, and it starts to come out of her eyes as she is clutching her head and screaming, her eyes still white.
Kit is gonna try and grab onto her arms and gently shake her out. This stop looking. And
okay.
If that doesn't work, I think she would begin trying to cast a spell.
Okay, what can we do for this? Let's do just a willpower test.
Willpower?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 42 is my target. 79. No.
I mean, there are tokens, so you have a crit success.
Oh, I do have a crit success. Yeah, I'll use that. I don't want Meredith to die.
Okay. So you sort of grab her, and you're staring intently, and you're shouting at her to stop looking, to come back, and her eyes meet yours, and they are bloodshot. And her head is sort of swimming, and her eyes are sort of rolling all over. She looks at you. They have another.
Sister Eden, can you do something to help her? Protections. And Kit is gonna grab up her spear, and she's gonna kind of start outside to see if she can hear dogs on the way.
Mm-hmm. So Sister Eden, as you go to Meredith to help her, she grabs your arms and stares at you intently. And she says to you in a voice which comes out strange for Meredith, at least for what you understand. She says, she knows. She's always known. Her heartbreak will turn to anger, and in your hour of need, you shall not find the warmth of her embrace, rather the coldness of his absence. And she faints.
Okay. Sister Eden is still going to be clutching the baby, and she's going to try to, I guess, do a heal check on Meredith.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do a heal test. Yeah. This is going to be challenging, so minus 10%.
Yeah. Minus 10%, okay. I have a bubble in
You
heal.
do have 2 critical successes.
Fucking right, I do too, don't I? I'm gonna crit success this.
Okay.
I'm gonna...
Okay, so she goes down like a sack, and you would just immediately tend to her, and I imagine like, you borrow some healing, some smelling salts from like Carter's pack, just like straight in there, bring her around.
Powerful smelling salts.
Those incredibly powerful smelling salts. You get a cloth, you wipe up what you can of her face, and she comes back around. She seems not healed, but conscious again.
I'm gonna shake her and be like, "What did you mean?"
What do you mean? What do I mean? What was happening? What is? And she like puts a hand to her face and sees the blood, and she looks like scared.
I mean, Sister Eden's not gonna want to scare her more, so she'll has the baby in one hand and she'll like scoop up Meredith in the other and try to like comfort her too and be like, "What do you remember? Tell me what you remember."
I remember. I did the ritual. I did the letter. I saw her. I saw the Alma. I saw the woman. I saw the eyes. Saw the eyes watching mine. Someone's eyes. Dark, terrible eyes watching me. Piercing me. And then she starts getting really stressed again. And then she pushes herself away from you. And she says, "You must go. Leave. Go now. Flee. They smell you. They see you. They hear you. They'll be here. You need to go. Go now. Take the boy. Go."
Do you have changes of clothes? Do you have any other cloths that we can wear?
Take what you need. Take anything you need. Go now.
Sister Eden doesn't waste any time. Meredith says that and she just clutches the baby and she takes off.
Kit is like at the door as Eden comes in. Is like, "They're close. We should move."
And as you say that, Kit, you hear the whoop, 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 whoop of the hounds, and you hear the hoof beats. You hear a horn being blown.
Meredith, are you gonna come with us?
No. It was not seen. I don't go. I stay.
Okay, well, Katsa, if she like sees cloth, will like snatch it up on her way out, but she's already out the door.
All right. Okay, does anybody else like to do anything before we begin our chase scene?
Just run.
I think Kit is going to attempt to cast a spell. It's the same spell she keeps attempting to cast, but she's going to be using it for a very different purpose today. I'm going to attempt to cast the spell Haunting and attempt to conjure some dogs making a similar noise but in a different direction. The idea being to confuse the hounds and confuse the people chasing them to go opposite to the way we're going.
Okie doke. All right, let's roll that incantation check.
Please, Kit, please!
The gods.
Did she not?
No.
You could spend a token.
Spend a token. Charlie.
Spend one?
Spend
Alright.
a token.
Alright,
It's now, do it.
Yeah.
Oh, she might have done it. Hold on.
Oh.
She did it exactly on the second roll.
Oh!
Exactly, 42.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you summon the sound of hound.
So basically, I'm contacting the world between here and there, and I call forth a poltergeist to rattle its chains and haunt the area. After successfully casting the spell, you can conjure ghostly sounds or voices, which manifest as a low whisper or dull roar. They can only mimic natural sounds or voices that your character would have heard. So these are like ghosty hounds.
Yeah, this is deeply unsettling to anybody who hears this. But you saw Kit do the motions, do what she needs to do to cast the spell. You know that that Kit has produced these sounds, but it's unsettling. These are dog sounds, but wrong slightly. The spectral.
And she's clutching at that familiar kind of scrap of fabric that occasionally appears in her hand.
Okay, so, is there anything else anybody would like to do before we move on to this next little sequence? Because this is like an actual thing in the book. It's real cool.
I'm so glad I didn't crit fail that roll incidentally.
Me too. Sister Eden, she snuck out of the door. Is she like in the direction of the people arriving, or did she go out a different door? Like where is everyone?
I imagine you guys were going out like where Kit is. Like you're all gonna run out together out of like the main door. And I imagine Kit would have done like thrown the hounds like away from the house.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we will now then move on to a structured chase scene, which is like a mechanic in the RPG. It's really cool. So first of all, what we do is I need to give you a head start value. Now, Kit, because of that very good spell with the dogs, your head start value is +3. So what this means is when we do our movement calculations for how much you manage to run at a sprint in this chase, you get to add 3 to this. So make a note of that number. So what we need to do is we need to roll initiative now. We need to see who is going to go when for this chase. So if we could have everybody's initiatives.
I'm being carried? How does that affect things?
Not you. Carter will be responsible for you.
Oh boy. D10 plus initiative amount?
Yeah, D10 plus
Okay.
initiative.
Alright.
17 for Kit.
Okay.
19 for Cecily.
13
Okay,
for Kata.
How much was that, sorry?
13.
13 for Carter. And what for Sister Eden?
14.
14 for Sister Eden. Okay, so initiative is so. Okay. And. Okay, so I need to just do a little brief calculation here, real quick. Don't mind me.
I've just read what my disorder does. I
That's
just
cool,
found
isn't
it
it?
in the book. Oh yeah, that's real cool, Susie. It's real cool.
All right. Okay. So, Cecily, I need you to add your head start bonus, which is a 3, to your movement, and then roll a d10.
A D10, okay. That is a 17.
17. Okay. All right. So, Cecily, you just set off at a sprint away from this house. Okay. Kit, you're up next. So, head start bonus, movement, and a d10.
Alright, so head start is 3, movement is 9, is 12, plus an 8 is 20.
20. All right. Sister Eden, same for you.
Um, 12.
12. Okay, Carter, and you.
Sorry, that was D10 movement and the +3. Is that what it was?
Yeah, so 3 plus your movement plus a d10.
12.
12. Okay.
I also.
So,
Sorry, this hasn't come up before because Kata always tries not to move during combat. But I do actually have a wooden leg. I have veteran's boot as my disorder or drawback, whatever it is.
okay.
Oh no.
Mechanically, it says I can't charge, maneuver, or run with movement actions without spending an additional action point. So it's referring specifically to combat, but I don't know if that will affect.
No, it doesn't
this
apply
into
to
the
your
chase.
chase scene. No, you're good.
Okay.
Because you have your movement total, so it doesn't, it's not about taking a move action. It's just your movement score for this chase.
Perfect. Just
So you're
wanted
good.
to check.
I forgot she has a wooden leg. All right.
Yeah.
So, Cecily and Kit, you are sprinting through this woodland and going as fast as your legs will carry you. Obviously, you're looking behind for your companions. As you do, you look over your shoulder, you see Eden and Carter. Eden carrying the child, Carter with Pike on her back. They're running as fast as they can, but behind them, you can see the hounds, and they are gaining on them. And behind the hounds, you see the riders, and you see up front Captain Amelia. And she's dressed in full regalia.
Kit calls to Cecily and says, "Lead the path, find the way, show them." And she's gonna turn, and then she's gonna start charging at the charge, because that's the logical thing to do.
Oh.
Spear in hand.
Okay.
Just running.
Since Kit is like ahead of Kata, she'll have to run past Kata to do this. And as soon as they're like neck and neck with each other, Kata will sort of like no and try to like turn her back around.
Just do like the one arm underneath, just like scoop.
I mean, okay,
try
so
it,
you're gonna attempt to grab Kit and stop her from charging at the captain?
I mean, as she sees her running back, first sort of put her hands up and be like, no, we keep running, don't do this.
I mean,
and
spear is a thrown weapon. She intends to throw the spear before she gets there.
Throw it from here and keep running. Don't charge. We run first, and then if we can't escape, we attack.
Okay, so if you want that to happen, the way we can mechanically make this happen is instead of doing like a run action this turn, Kit, because you do it in rounds, instead of doing a run, you do your attack.
Okay.
Instead of because you will be
she's gonna
stopping
aim for the horse, not the captain. She just needs to slow him down.
Okay. All right. So
I mean, the captain would be nice, but you know.
let me just figure out my score here. Okay. All right. So Cecily, can I grab that score from you again? So it's 3 plus movement
Plus another D10.
plus D10. Yep.
14.
14. Okay. And Kit is attacking this round. Eden.
Thank you so much for that subscription, Wobbit, and thank you earlier to Lord Horatio Ironwood. Sorry.
My initiative was 13.
13.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Carter, yours, please.
And are we still adding the +3?
Yep. I think.
14.
14. Okay. Okay, so this time the captain is right upon all of you. None of you managed to beat her score, and she and the hounds are basically about ready to rip your faces off. But Kit, make me that attack roll.
Okay, so I look at the Spirit's class as a simple melee, but I'm just gonna lob it anyway and hope for the best.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, I dropped my D10.
Oh.
Alright, I'll just roll this one twice. I rolled a 1! I rolled a 1! I've never rolled a 1 on a D100 system.
Yes.
It's like
Alright.
you know the scene in Robin Hood Princesses where you get the arrow time shot and it's like that arrow going straight down. It's like that but with a whacking gate spear that's covered in black ichor and shit.
I would say because that's a 1 and it's really cool, you throw the spear and you channel everything that's happened to you over the past 48 hours into this throw. With a scream, you throw it and it sinks straight into the horse's neck and it makes a horrible thud. The horse screams as it drops down. Captain Amelia looking really smug as she's bearing down upon your friends is just, her face is suddenly like, fuck, as she eats shit in the dirt as she as the horse just goes down, and another rider behind it wasn't quick enough to pull up in time. His horse goes down on top of that, and before you could see, they're starting to scrabble to get back up again in the sort of horrible mess of limbs. There's screaming horses and people shouting. The dogs are barking.
This is 100% where Kit's been going wrong. She's never used her spear in combat. Apparently, she should have just been using her spear all along.
Should have been the spear time. All right, so round 3. I'm gonna... Yeah, that makes sense. All right, yeah. Okay, Cecily, can I get that roll again from you?
Yeah. Cecily's just gonna yell back and just without looking, just like yell, "Eat shit!" and just like keep running like a coward. 18.
18. All right. Kit, I assume you're running this time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So it's a D10 plus 12. 15.
15. Eden.
Sorry, what?
Can I get that roll from you? So it's 3 plus movement and a D10.
You can. Ooh. 14.
14. Okay, and Kata.
14 for me as well.
14. Okay, so you can hear behind you the shouts of the hunters coming. You hear the dogs who have kind of pulled up as their hunt master has just gone down. You hear them trying to pull the horse off Captain Amelia, and you hear her shouting orders from underneath the horse, and she's actually screaming out in pain as you think maybe her leg got crushed beneath her horse as it went down. But you manage to sprint and keep running as this chaos is unfolded behind you. We'll go one last round to see if you can escape the hunters now as they start to pick themselves back up. You're going to hear once more the command been given for the dogs. All right, so I need to roll again for them. Okay, that's going to be...
Everybody run! Really, really fast.
Okay, Cecily.
All right. 10. 18.
Okay, Kit.
16.
Okay, Eden.
20.
Oh,
Yes, queen!
and Kata.
15.
Save
15.
this baby.
Okay, so Cecily, Eden, you are sprinting. You, Eden, seeing the dogs come again fresh, you were like, they're not getting this baby, and you get a burst of speed from nowhere. Cecily, you're right next to Eden, like protecting this kid. You have your hand on your stolen sword. However, Kata and Kit, you stuck by Kit as she threw that spear, and you turn to run, but you have Pike on your back, and you're helping Kit, sort of pulling her away from the fight a little bit. Both of you are too slow, and before you know it, the hunters are upon you. I need you to make me...
Oh no.
Well, I need them to make me
Pike, is your gun
coordination.
loaded?
Our two responsible people are just like, no, not again.
Oh no.
Wait, it was me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hang on
Wait.
1 second. I just need to roll for what I'm getting, and then I'll give you what you have to...
I did get a 33, which passes, and it's crit because it's the double.
Okay.
Oh my god, you guys. Keep rolling good like that. If you wouldn't mind.
Okay, so they they have passed their test to capture you. Carter, you passed your coordination to escape them. Like, I imagine there's like ropes that they're like trying to lasso you with. The dogs are coming at you. You know, there's literally one dude on horseback coming to grab you. And I imagine that's the one that gets Kit by Charlie's face.
I rolled a 99.
Oh no!
What? To a 99.
You're so good to say that. You could have just lied about it.
There's
So,
no point in
Kata,
cheating.
Reroll.
Reroll these?
Kata, as
Reroll it. You can reroll him.
you could re-roll it.
The team votes for a
can't be
token
worse.
reroll, right? Alright, we'll try again.
It can't be worse than that.
One more token for Susie, because, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
73, I still fail.
Okay.
It's not a crit.
Not a crit,
Okay,
not
yeah.
a crit.
Not a crit. It's
So, Kata, as you avoid the sort of the lash of a rope from one of these people and a dog nipping at your heels, you look across at Kit to make sure that she's also fine, and you see a large man on horseback just sort of scoop her up with one arm and hold her like crushingly tight under his arm as he continues on with his horse. Pike, you can do something now if you wish.
I'm holding onto your back. I'm gonna lean in and Kata's ear and just be like, get her. And I let go. And as I fall, I'm getting my gun out and I'm shooting the guy holding Kit specifically to get him to drop her.
Oh!
oh no.
Okay. All right. So, roll that attack for me.
I'm using one of my
gonna.
crits.
Nice. Nice. Okay. So you straight crit. He doesn't get to block it because it's a crit. So roll me that damage.
This is my playbook, so okay. This is volatile and something else. Gunpowder does something, but this explodes on ones and.
Yeah, ones and sixes.
Ones and
If
sixes.
I'm aiming specifically not to do damage, but just to get him to let her go, what would that be?
Still roll your damage. It's just like how good it is. This hit. How good this hit is.
I mean, I'm
That's
okay with you
6.
killing him, Pike. I'm okay with it.
And so that's 6 plus 5 plus what?
Plus
Else?
your
Is
it's
it brawn or
BB for
combat?
melee, but I'm not sure what it is for ranged. Is it still BB?
Is it Bebe?
Is it a little bubba?
We'll just say it's combat and brawn are the same for me, so that's 6 plus 5, that's 11 plus 3 is 14.
14. Okay, Jesus Christ. All right.
Get him.
So, just because this is a finale and it's narratively super cool, Pike, you fall off Carter's back, and in the mud, you're on your back. You take a shot, you aim, and you shoot at this man, and you hit his shoulder. You hit right underneath where the pauldron is, sort of where the like the jerkin is, like where the breastplate and the pauldron meets, where it's not armored, and you like explode his shoulder. It just. In like a shower of blood. Kit, you feel like the bullet just whizzed past you because you're tucked right under that arm. You feel it release as he screams in pain. His arm flops like uselessly, and he sort of pulls up on the reins with the other horse and wheels it around to glare at you, Pike. But Kit, you're on the ground.
Not for long. Kata's swooping in to pick her up.
Oh no. Oh my God.
I imagine Kit is like in a scramble to get up and get to her feet and get moving.
Okay, so, yes, so Carter, you come up, you swoop up Kit, grab her to her feet, and you set to running. Pike, this man on horseback has wheeled around to you, and in his other hand, he holds a flanged mace. And he rides at you, and he's going to try and kill you.
Always Pike.
Oh no!
Always Pike.
That's fair. Hi!
So let me roll this. Oh,
One more bump and I'm gone. I believe that was the quote.
Julie, that sound you made was just
Susie, what?
Susie, what did you do?
Not a good face. I don't know.
I rolled a 2. So
Why do you
hit
always
someone
do
hit.
this with Pike?
All right, I'm not gonna say anything because I know what's the next part is the worst part.
Can we use
So-
one of our tokens to make you reroll?
No,
Is that
you
in the
can't.
rules?
No, you can't.
Oh, now it's the chaos.
okay.
To be fair, Pike wasn't trying to dodge.
So you not gonna? Because if we're treating this like a turn, you would have
treating
the
this like a
AP. Yeah. So I would say you used 2 AP during that maneuver to shoot him. So you have 1 AP left.
I will try to dodge then, I guess.
Okay.
But I wasn't like trying to run away. I think is the thing that I'm.
Yeah.
The thing. I'm not trying to move. I just might
Roll.
like flop over on the. Shoot. I'm What's the dodge test again?
It's a coordination test, I believe.
Coordination. Oh, I'm not great at that. Okay, here we go.
You can still have a crit success.
Nah, I'll save it for something. Coordination.
This would be. Hang on. It would be slightly more difficult, 10% more difficult, because you're on the ground. You're not on your feet
I'm
for dodging.
also like hurt, so I think that
And you
adds
are
another.
super hurt. Yeah.
That adds another level of difficulty, so I fail.
You fail. Okay, so he hits.
Oh
Hmm?
Because it's the finale and I'm evil and mean, and I did say there might be a death, I'm going to use one of my tokens to set this to a 6.
Okay.
I'm sorry, puppy.
You have anger in my
Yes. Dog's me. It exploded, didn't it?
No, yeah, she used the
God.
token.
Alright.
It exploded again. Did it roll another
It exploded
6?
again. Oh no.
Oh no!
Wait. It's 29.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh
that's all my damage thresholds. That goes past like the highest one.
So that's just like a
point.
instant
Oh, yeah.
death. Okay, so Kit, you are sort of like hoisted over Carter's shoulder as you watch this knight turn around and pull out this mace which gleams in the sunshine as he charges at Pike, and there's a sickening thud as he connects with Pike's head and she drops.
And
And
there's just
doesn't
that
move.
same angry scream for like the second time today. Kit's throat is just raw. And she's starting to run, but she's gonna run at this guy. She's a protector. She's gonna kill this dude with her bare hands because that's all she has, I think. Or she has a side, but she's not thinking about that.
Kata has not set Kit down. She's not running anywhere. Like, you have been
okay.
tossed over Kata's shoulder.
Okay, so we'll have a coordination test. So for you, Kit, this is going to be hard at minus 20% because Carter is going to be grabbing onto you with everything that she's got.
All of her hatred is just fueling her. She has no logic or sense.
So
Which
you need
says,
to take
Pike just died
20
for her.
off
Like these stuff killed.
your
Alright,
target.
and I'm rolling. What am I rolling?
Coordination.
Coordination. I need to roll a 30 or below.
What did you get, Carter?
I got a 22.
She got a 5?
5?
It was a crit.
22
But
was a
22
crit.
is a crit.
Okay, so Carter, Kit almost escapes your grasp. She is furious. She is angry. You can feel the protector herself coursing through Kit right now as she's trying to escape your grasp, but you cling on tight because you know that if Kit tries to fight this guy, she's dead like Pike. And the only thing you can do is run.
Yeah. Kata just holds on tighter and keeps running.
I think Kit stops fighting as they begin to kind of get ground between them.
Mm-hmm.
But she is like shaking with fury.
Mm-hmm. All right, and as they manage to sprint away, we cut to Pike lying there on the ground. You threw yourself off Carter's shoulders to save Kit. You knew what was coming. What does Pike think about as she sees that man, she sees that mace, and she knows what's about to happen?
There is a moment where it just like she knows that she doesn't have the movement to block it, so she goes and touches the tattoos of the moon that kind of go around her neck. They were always incomplete, but that's part of what the ritual is. It's the fact that it's a cycle and it never really ends and it just sort of keeps going. And there's just a moment where she looks up and it's that where you can see the imprint of the moon even in the sky, and she just sort of gives it a little salute.
Mm-hmm.
Death is a natural part of life, and if her dying means that the kid will live, then she'll do that.
Mm-hmm. As you're lying there and you give your final salute to this guy, you remember the time you were captured and the time you were marked, and you remembered the mocking tones of the man who brandished that brand at you as he pressed it to your flesh, and you smelt that flesh burning. You remembered him telling you, "Tell me, little bird, have you ever seen a bird with its wings clipped? Do you hear the caged bird sing?" And you remember that mocking as he just was taunting you and telling you how you would never ever be free again, how this would mark you until your dying day. And you can't help but in your last moments just give a middle finger to that one guy, because you died staring up at the sky, free. You were a free woman.
And I died doing something that meant something. I didn't die in a mundane way.
And as your final breath leaves your body, there's just a small smile. And we are back to the rest of the group as you run and you manage to get away. You lose the hunters. You no longer hear the sounds of the hounds and the hunters behind you. You get the feeling that maybe they stopped to pick up their captain. They stopped to take Pike's body, but something stopped them, and you're free.
Oh, we made it. Good. Oh.
No,
All right.
we cannot stop now. I have to keep going. We have to find a way through these woods.
We have no idea if they might
away
find
we
us.
can.
Yeah. We have to keep going. We have to get to Rakotis.
I mean, that's our only option now, isn't it?
We should split and divide the trail and meet somewhere.
Good. I can go with Pike.
Kata, you go with Eden.
Wait.
Cecily,
No.
you go with me.
Wait, where's Pike?
Cecily,
No, we're not splitting up.
God, where's Pike at?
She didn't make it, Cecily.
What do you mean?
What? She's
I mean,
on your
she's-
back. What?
Cecily, stop. Please. Pike is not with us.
We're not splitting up.
Fine, then we move.
I think the sister's right. Yeah, we just have to keep moving. The most we can do is try to fake the trail a little bit and keep them off our scent. But I don't think we should split
That's
up. We
more
should
than
just
the
keep
most
going.
we can do. And I'll grab their hands.
Wait,
And
wait. I have climbing gear. Let's lay some snares. And with she's gonna grab the pitons and literally run between trees, laying rope. It's gonna be real obvious. We can't discreet it, but if they're running quite quick, they might still hit them.
Yeah, absolutely. So you set up some like makeshift tripwires.
If we have time, I have these clothes. If we can just switch these, maybe we can get the hounds off us.
Let's keep moving for now. We'll stop at sunset to change clothes, and work on the trail. But right now, we just have to keep moving.
If we can find some water, maybe we can lose the trail there. Keep your eyes and ears open for streams, rivers, anything.
It doesn't matter anymore.
What do you mean, Sister Eden?
It doesn't matter. We just need to stick together, and it doesn't matter.
Okay, we're moving. Let's go.
Yeah, that's right. We need to go now.
And she furiously buries the last pit in way deeper than it needs to be into the trunk of this tree.
Mm-hmm. And so you run off further again, deeper and deeper, trying to stay off main trails to work your way through woodlands. And you do eventually come upon a stream. You manage to wade a ways down it in hopes of losing your trail. And you, for a long time, hear nothing but the woodlands around you. Until you reach the break in the woodlands. At sunset, you see what appears to be the main sort of thoroughfare, the main road that you know would lead you to the city of Rakotis. And it is quiet. It's almost peaceful. The woodland gives way to great sort of valleys ahead, beautiful, lush, green valleys. And it's quiet. It's peaceful. And you have a moment to reflect on the hell that you have been through in the past few days, the friends you've gained, the friends you've lost, and the path that lies ahead. And I feel like that is where we're going to end our little finale tonight.
Oh no, Pike!
Oh, it was so sad!
Oh.
Well, this may not be the end. This is but a chapter of the Broken Crown. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Zweihander RPG, who have been looking after us here on stream. I forgot to mention it, but every critical success we were donated is being turned into a contribution towards a charity. So I'll be sorting that out with the Grim Imperialist Publishing Group very soon. So thank you very much, chat, for supporting us. Thank you, Susie, for an action-filled session. Let's go around. Let's say hello and goodbye to everyone as we wrap up this finale. And let's begin, as always, the best of us, the hero in the woods, Pikerin Folk, played by Mackenzie.
Oh boy, I am going to miss Pike, but she personally is pretty happy with how she went. Now that I'm no longer playing Pike, you can find me over on Twitter at MackenzieLaneDA. I do writing, I do editing, and I talk about it a lot on Twitter. I also have a podcast, One-on-One D&D. You can check that out on Twitter. But most importantly, I'm going to be DMing for a charity stream over on Scriticus Academy on the 9th of November. It's raising money for Extra Life, and it's going to be super exciting. We have an absolutely fabulous group of players and an even more fabulous group of DMs. So that I'm going to be DMing at 1 p.m. EST on November 9th, and it is a 24-hour stream. I'm the first on the docket, so please tune in. It's raising money for an excellent cause. And I don't think there's going to be any sad deaths. Probably.
Maybe. We'll see about that. That sounds awesome. Please do go check that out. If you have any links or anything you want to throw into chat, Mackenzie, please do that. Oh, I've made that way too loud. That ominous music. I couldn't listen to the sad one anymore. The sad one needs to be over. Determined and brave and intimidating as fuck and beautiful Carter, played by Jess.
I'm Jess. You can find me on Twitter at WriteJessR. You can find all of the cool stuff I do on my website, writejess.com, including the D&D, all-women, family-friendly, actual play podcast I do, D20 Dames. We just wrapped up Season 2, which also had a very, very sad season finale. And we're starting Season 3 in the next couple of weeks, so check that out. And yeah, find all of my stuff on my website. I'll put the link in the chat.
And the heart of the group with devious eyes and lots of secrets that we are yet to find out, I am sure. The beautiful and wonderful Lydia playing Sister Eden. How you doing, friend?
I'm great. This was so much fun. I'm so thankful that you invited me back to do the season of Zweihander. I've loved this game. This has been so much fun. I'm just so thankful that I've gotten to play with you guys. This was great. I am Lydia. You can find me on Twitter at Lydia Heals. I play in this game, and I have a schedule that's coming up, maybe hopefully soon. You can follow me on Twitter, and you can find it, and you can see me on the internet at various places if you follow me there. Anyways, I'm just so humbled and happy that you asked me to be here. I'm just so thankful that I've made these friends and that I've gotten to play some really grim and perilous game with you fabulous ladies. And Susie, you did such an amazing job. This was a hard game, and you did such a great job keeping track of everything, and the players were great, and I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy to be here.
Always happy to have you, Lydia, and I'm always happy as well to have Shauna, who is daring, delightful, and always on time to spin science. So if you're looking for a tavern advertiser, can I recommend the wonderful Cecily?
Once again, Cecily is a survivor, and some of her friends don't make it. Oh no. But yeah. Oh, that was a hell of a thing. Oh, so much fun. I'm gonna miss playing with y'all. I loved it. It's wonderful. Oh yeah, Shauna playing Circe on Twitter, where I can post all the games where I'm at during my time, and I post art there as well. So hopefully, maybe someday.
Please do go and check out Shauna's. Shauna does not plug it enough. It is amazing. Done a beautiful picture of Cecily, which I think everyone should go and see as well, because that's amazing.
Thanks.
Sorry, anything else you wanted to plug, Shauna?
Oh no, that's it then.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Let's dive on up to the lady that runs the show, to the grim and the graceful, Susanna Grace.
Oh, thanks so much, guys. Oh man, this is such a joy to run. I could not have asked for any better players. You were all fantastic. You all brought it so much. I adore every one of your characters, and I'm so sorry, Mac. I'm so sorry.
I knew it was coming, so I was ready.
I was 100% joking when I was like, "There's gonna be blood" at the start of the stream. I was just hyping.
Of course, it was poor Pike. Oh.
Yeah, it was poor Pike. I mean, it was always gonna be Pike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like let's be honest. We from Combat 1, we all knew if anyone was going down, it was me.
But she went out a goddamn hero. So thank you all so much for playing. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us on this journey. I'm Susanna Grace, otherwise known as Susie. I am a variety streamer who does video games, art streams, and tabletop RPGs. Find me all over the internet at Susanna Grace, and I do have a pinned tweet on my Twitter, so please do check that out.
And if you have enjoyed this series, let us know. Leave us a comment, do some retweets, tweet us. We listen to that feedback when we decide our programming for the new year. Keep an eye out, because coming up in the next month or so, we will be putting out cast calls and things like that. So if you want to get involved here on Encounter Roleplay, keep an eye out for that. And also keep an eye out for our casting call for the Meat Grinder, which will be coming up at the end of next month. But next month brings something else for us too. And I have adored playing with this cast. Incredibly talented people, one and all. Please go check them out. But I'm excited for what is happening next week too. And so without any further ado, I'm just going to hand over to our little trailer and say goodnight. Try not to roll too many nat ones. But if you do, throw them in someone's face and stab them really hard in the name of Pike. Take care, everyone. Before we begin today's show, I would like to take some time to remind you about our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds